All right, folks, thanks so much for tuning in here to Game 2 of this doubleheader on Senior Night. We've got the senior boys taking on the Samuel de Champlain Jaguars. The senior girls just dropped a 3-1 set decision against the Sam de Cham Jaguars. Those two teams were both at the top of the Single A South Division. And the boys, it's the same. Although in the girls' case, our hometown Lakers were at the top, and here for the boys, it's the Samuel de Champlain Jaguars who were undefeated at the top of Single A South. The Lakers have already dropped a decision to the Jaguars, looking to redeem themselves a bit here on home court with Senior Night looming. And there are a fair amount of grade 12 students on this roster. We've got 4 Harvey High grade 12 students and 1 grade 12 student from Macadam who is playing.
Some really strong players that we're going to see out here tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on both sides. I know this Sam de Cham team has done fairly well in the past. I can't remember. I believe they did make it to provincials last season. They would have graduated a few of their strong players, but we do see some returners and definitely some familiar names from the basketball season. Jean Adona is out there wearing number 1. He's going to be one of the 2 liberos. Alexander Daigle has a pretty strong arm. Alec Wilson as well. Watch out for number 12 in orange and blue. And Lakers can respond pretty well as well. They're 2, I guess you could call them import players or the borrowed players from Macadam. Carter Bartlett, number 5, who's in grade 12, and Jacob McIntyre, the youngest player on the team, who wears number 23. He's in grade 10. Both players from Macadam. Macadam, unfortunately, could not have a team this season, but Lakers very happy to provide them with the opportunity to continue playing volleyball.
Both some really strong players for this team. They've really proven that they can show up and
they
really
have.
Show out.
Yeah. 2 different players for sure. McIntyre is the primary setter. Bartlett a very strong hitter and server. They kind of fill some different roles, but Lakers were in need of a setter, so it worked out well that McIntyre is available. As players will do a pre-game handshake here. And looks like the starting 6 for the Lakers will be Gregory, Short, McKean, Bartlett, Breed, and McIntyre, with Kurt Cometa from the libero position getting ready to swap in, and indeed he does relieve Jackson Short to start things off. Jordan Hill, Lex Smith, and Caleb Brewer also dressed tonight. And out there for Coach Jean Bouteau and Hazel Mayette's squad, looks like it is, number 4. That's not a number we have right now. And we'll try to get you those names as the game goes on. First service from McKean will hit the top of the net, so Lakers surrendering the first point.
His serve seems to either go really far out or just hits the net.
He's got a lot of power behind it, but yeah, working the accuracy as that service from the Jaguars just sneaks over. Big hit from Gregory, but a nice block by number 14, Noah Wallet. And looks like we may have a couple of additional, or 1 additional player from these Jaguars out there on the court. Number 4, unfortunately, he's the one with the ball on his hand, and he's the only one whose number we don't have online. But he's got a couple of aces so far, does number 4. If you're a Samuel de Champlain fan and you're watching, feel free to toss his name out there in the chat. McIntyre tosses it over. Jaguars put it up. Here's Daigle. Second hit, sending it. And little misplay there by the Lakers. Oh, sorry. Got to keep that score up to date. It is 4-0 for the Jaguars here. Forgot I was on duty there. Jags again. Nice jump serve. Bartlett thought that was going out, but that is not the case. There's another ace for number 4.
His serves are really doing well.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got that big wind-up jump serve in a gym he hasn't played in before, but he's getting the timing right every time. Tough break. As that was a good hustle by Gregory. to try to make it in. Almost kept it alive, but couldn't quite get there. Sam Desham on a great run here to start the game. Gregory to McKean, and Breed will send it over. That's tipped, but Adona has it. Levin on the set, and winding up for the big hit is Daigle. And that does fall on the Lakers side. Referees Derek Bradford and Casey DeMerchant checking in with each other as Coach Isaiah Caldwell is going to call a timeout. Head coach Michel Poirier is not here yet tonight. Not sure if he's going to come later or if he's just unavailable for the night. Either way, it's Isaiah Caldwell's bench for the moment.
Probably trying to tell the guys that they really need to focus up on this hard serve, because if they focus on the ball, they know they can receive it.
Yeah, once they have gotten that first hit, they've had a couple good receptions here, but I think the powerful serve is starting to throw them off a little bit. And yeah, it's tough when that ball's coming at you so quickly, but we know the Lakers have dealt with powerful servers in the past. They had that issue, or had to adapt to that issue with Sir James Dunn Academy last week, and we'll see if coming out of the timeout they're able to do the same. And Jaguars are back out. Out there, in addition to number 4, we have number 8, Jamie Enrique Bemi UC. Number 14, Noah Willets. Number 7, Alexander Daigle. Number 3, Xavier Lavin. And the libero, number 1, Jean Adona. Service is good. McIntyre redirecting and just falls out of bounds. Tough break. I like what Jacob McIntyre was thinking there, though.
That was a really smart move if it was to go in. Unfortunate that it just went out.
Yeah, that was right on the line, too. Tough call. But a good response from the Lakers. Kameta has it. Nice dig by Kameta. McIntyre sending it over. Adona right at the front of the net. Lavin sending, and nice scramble by Michael Breed keeping that one alive.
That was a great hustle by all of the boys.
Good rally here as McIntyre again sending it over. Back corner, Adona to Lavin for the set. Daigle looked to wind up for a big hit, but elected for the soft touch. Gregory, good heads-up play to keep that alive. Breed at the front of the net, big hit, but Adona is there. Again, Breed with a nice block. Sam Desham still has it, though. Willette sending it up. McIntyre to Gregory for the set, and little miscommunication there cost the Lakers.
That was a really good rally between both teams.
Well, there were quite a few little scrambles to keep that alive, and multiple times thought that was going to be a dead ball, but ultimately Sam Desham takes it. And Lakers finally on the board as that point goes out of bounds. And McIntyre setting it up. Daigle with the big hit, but it's blocked. Big thanks to Melissa Gammon for letting us know about the roster. Will Lajoie wearing number 4. Oh, I've got him down at number 5, so it must have been an incorrect jersey number online. But thank you for that. We appreciate that out of the chat. Here's McKean. Over to McIntyre. Breed winding up for the big hit, and it's good.
That was a great play by Breed.
Yeah, Michael Breed, one of the strongest Lakers player. He actually was playing this season in a club team in Oramucto, so has some off-season experience.
And you can tell he does really well up front at the net. He's had lots of great blocks and great hits.
Really good decision maker there. As it will be Jaguars ball. Lakers starting to dig out of this hole, but definitely still trailing as Willette sends it over. Here's McIntyre and Breed sending up. Nice dig by Levin. Daigle, big hit, and that's good. Finds his spot and sends it directly there. It's a nice hit by number 7 in orange and blue. Here's Willette with another serve. Right to Charlie Gregory. McIntyre with the set. Gregory, soft tip, but Daigle sends it right back. Here's McIntyre again. Daigle with the set. Back to Wilson. And here's Gregory. McIntyre back set for his companion from McAdam, Carter Bartlett. Looking back row, Michael McKean is there. Here's Charlie Gregory with a big hit, and he gets it.
He is a really strong player for this team. He's had lots of experience on this team, and you can see it.
Yeah, he is the longest tenured Laker at the senior level, I believe, or might be tied with Michael McKean. They've both got at least 3 years. And it's a relatively young team in terms of years spent playing volleyball as well. That experience really shines through. McIntyre over to Jackson Short, a first-year player in grade 11. He sends it. Daigle winding up, big hit, and powers it through the defense. There's another great kill from number 7, Alexandre Daigle. And it's Jamie Enrique Bemiusi up there. To serve is Bartlett with a nice hit.
A lot of power behind that, went straight to the floor.
Yeah, he had to angle it well because he hit kind of right from the very middle of the court.
Yeah.
He didn't have a lot of breathing room, but he found the inside of the red line pretty nicely there. And here's Charlie Gregory with a solid service, just out of bounds though. Well, spoke too soon there. Has 13 serving 5 now. And Daigle is back there. Nice jump service from Daigle, but Gregory's right there. McIntyre over to McKean, who sends it over. Daigle back to Lavin, and William Lajoie. Didn't need too much power on that, but great accuracy.
That was a great angle downwards. Something you see a lot with these teams.
Yeah, just no time to react for the Lakers. And here's the second service from Daigle. That's a good one over to Jackson Short. Bartlett has it, and McIntyre will send it close to the front of the net. Keeping it alive is Lajoie. Gregory again for the Lakers. And winding up, big hit McKean, but just angled too far out of bounds.
A little too much power behind that one.
Oh, yeah. And Michael McKean can put a fair amount of power behind it, but still looking for the accuracy there on those big hits. There's Daigle, another good jump serve. Gregory right to the front of the court. Bartlett sends it over. Bemiusi to Lavin, and Lajoie sending it over. Gregory to Jackson Short, looking back row. Daigle keeps it alive and falls at the front of the net there. Lakers get another point. And they send one of their strongest servers to the line. Number 5, Carter Bartlett. And that one will catch the net. I guess there's that commentator's curse. As we see Addo now rotate out, and Noah Ouellet check back into the front row. Service from Saint-Michel is good. McIntyre setting it. McKean puts it up. Made it up through the rafters, but hit one coming back down. That's tough luck for number 10 in green and gold. And here's 17 serving 6 now as service from, I believe that was number 12, Alec Wilson. Catching the top of the net. Oh, sorry, check that. That was a Laker point. And here's Jackson Short. In grade 11, that will fall out of bounds, unfortunately. As we mentioned, a lot of younger players for the Lakers without quite as much volleyball experience. Short is one of them. Caleb Brewer in grade 12, another. And a lot of guys with just 2 years here at the senior level as well. Number 3, Xavier Lavin, back to serve for the Jags. Sent to the front of the net. Michael McKean, big hit. Looked to go cross court, but it falls out of bounds. And again, tough break. If they could calibrate between those red lines, McKean would be dangerous, dangerous player. He is still dangerous, but it's a little risky. Well, he's looking for that accuracy.
Always a gamble.
Yeah, little gamble there. Speaking of, as Jacob McIntyre tried to secure the point, but ended up touching the net there and cost the Lakers a point.
Unfortunate, because that would have been a really good move if he hadn't touched the net.
Yeah, definitely I think would have caught Sam Desham kind of moving in the opposite direction. McKean, nice work by Michael McKean.
That was a great save.
Yeah.
Really caught Sam Desham off guard.
Yeah, and he's kind of made them have to respect his power after the big hits, but elected to go soft and go at a sharp angle. And yeah, as you mentioned, I don't think the Jags were expecting that. Nice service as Daigle sends that high. Nice hustle by Benny Yusi to keep it alive, and Daigle almost on the third hit, but he will not make it.
Really good job getting there, just couldn't get enough power behind it, or didn't have the right angle to get it over.
Yeah, and he was right in the corner too. It's tough to get that in the right spot as McKean's second service is out of bounds. And we're all the way back around the service order for both teams now as William Lajoie had a 10-point, or almost a 10-point run. I think maybe it was a 9-point run to start the game. Here he is again, needing only 3 to secure the first set. His fourth ace.
Really impressive serve. It's always very accurate, and he puts it right where it needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah, Lajoie as well must be one of these veteran players who has quite a bit of high-level volleyball experience. Gregory with a big hit. Lajoie diving to try to keep it alive, but it will not go. As Lakers with a bit of life here, it's 10, serving 23. Very little room for error. As Jacob McIntyre goes back to serve. Here he is. It's up and over. Ooh, nice placement. As, well, that looks to send it to a corner. Gregory can't quite get the angle on that. And it is now set point. Here's Noah Willette with a chance to close it out. Good service. Falls a little short as... Oh, that's a tough way for the Lakers to lose it. Miscommunication.
Yeah. They just have to focus on really talking to each other and making sure everyone knows what's going on out there.
Yeah. Certainly Sam Desham, a very strong team, but Lakers gave up a few points there on the miscommunications, so we'll see if that's something that Coach Isaiah Caldwell will go over with the boys. And if I do remember correctly from last year, it was a small league. It was just Samuel de Champlain, Sir James Dunn Academy, and Harvey, and they would play each other quite a few times. But if I remember right, the very last game of the season, senior night, it was only Isaiah who was available, and that was the night that the Lakers did beat Sam Desham. So might be looking to recapture that magic.
Hopefully we can see that again here tonight.
Fingers crossed. You know the boys would love it on senior night, but either way, a big thanks to both him and Michelle Poirier for the hours they put in coaching these teams. It takes a lot of time and effort, and on the Jaguars side, big thanks as well to Jean Bouteau and Hazel Mayette. Should also shout out our minor officials. Cadence McMillan, after a great showing for the senior girls, is down there working the in-house scoreboard. And a big thanks as well to Kayla Harris, who has been our stalwart minor official all through volleyball season. She's working I believe the iPad down there at the Don Fletcher minor officiating table. Big thanks as well to our permanent referees. We've got 3 referees we kind of rotate through. Tonight must be Serena Bradford, tonight off. But down there we've got Derek Bradford and Casey DeMerchant. Big thanks to both of them as they've been putting in a lot of time here at the referee chair this season. Of course, without those referees, the game cannot happen. So we appreciate their willingness to step up. And up here in the skybox, we've got Kevin Sheffers-Roy keeping an eye on things from the console position, bringing up all those graphics, swapping camera angles. Big thanks to you as well, Adeline, who are also working the camera with one hand while you're chipping in with color commentary. We appreciate that.
Thanks to you for joining me for my first game commentating this season.
Oh, yeah. You did last season, though, I do remember. Okay. Well, glad to get you back on the microphone. Yeah. We do have a week left. There should be 3 to 4 middle school games coming up next week. This is, unfortunately, as it's senior night, the end of the senior volleyball season. And just the way the standings And the playoff schedule are shaking out. There will be no more volleyball games at the high school level here in the David McMullen Gymnasium this year. But we've got some middle school volleyball we'll be bringing to you next week. So hopefully we can tune in for that. As it looks to be mostly the same Lakers out there. The one swap is Lex Smith, who is in for Jackson Short up front. Looks like the Jaguars made some changes in personnel as well. As I see number 11, Samuel McIntosh, number 9, Gino Hebert are out there. As well as, oh no, that's everyone who's new.
We'll see how these changes work out for both of the teams.
Yeah, we've seen Lex Smith get a fair amount of playing time this season. He's another one of those veteran players with a little more experience than some of his teammates. As for the Jaguars, we don't have their grades or their ages officially. If I'm remembering back to previous seasons, I believe McIntosh at least is a name I've seen before. As Bartlett receives that first serve. McIntosh, and that's sent right to the front of the net. Good play by Abel, but Lakers keep it alive. McIntosh punching that over. But it's the Lakers who strike first. I don't think the Jags are ready for that.
They were not, and that was a great play because if he hadn't have punched it up, that wouldn't have been able to go over.
No, it's an interesting play. Like, I don't think that's how you draw it up. He went pretty high there, gave the Jags time to get in position, but just kind of misdirected, I guess. Here's Levin with the set, and big hit wind-up from McIntosh, but Lakers keep it alive. Nice gentle touch by McIntosh, and again, or McIntyre, rather. Jacob McIntyre, not Samuel McIntosh. Those players play on different teams. But it's McIntyre's second point. Here he is again, solid service. McIntosh sends it over to Lajoie. And Hebel sends it over. Nice play by Carter Bartlett. Getting low at the front of the net to keep it alive and sending it past the Jaguars. So after going down 9-0 to start the first set, now it's the Lakers off to a bit of a hot start. McIntyre will look to keep it going. Nice play by Daigle. Sending it over to Levin, and McIntosh plays it, but it's out of bounds. And Coach Bouteau doesn't look too upset right now. He's actually got a player with the whiteboard by the looks of it. So I don't think we're seeing a timeout called in the next little while. Nice hit by McIntosh. He goes short side, and this time he finds the inside of the red lines. Jags are on the board.
Really close call. It's always really hard for the players to tell whether or not it's going to be in or out.
Yeah. As Lajoie first up in the service order for good reason, as there's a fourth hit. Charlie Gregory's hit came to the front of the net. It was nice reflexes by Lex Smith to keep it alive. Unfortunately, no Jaguar player had touched it. Good jump service there by Lajoie. As McIntyre, awkward angle, tries to hit it, but it will not go.
Always really hard to try and get it while it's right behind your head.
Yeah, you can see him kind of on his back foot there, and right at the corner of the net as well. Just tough circumstances as Daigle sends that down with authority.
Puts it right behind the back row players.
Yeah, and that came down so quickly. I don't think Lakers could have gotten there even if they had wanted to. McKean with a good first pass. Bartlett up front. Gregory will send it over. Lajoie from the back row over to Levin. And big hit from Daigle, but Michael McKean gets hands on it. Third hit from Bartlett will go over. Adona with the pass up to Levin. And this time it's Abel winding up for the big hit, but Lakers managed to get there. As Cometa checks out and Michael Breed rotates into the front row. Here's Lex Smith back to serve. First service of the evening for Smith, grade 11 player. And that will catch the top of the net. So we're all tied up here in the early going. And now it's the other libero's turn to check out. Adona is out. Wilson is in. Here's Gino Abel. Good solid service, and tough break for McKean. He thought that was going out.
Unfortunate call by him.
Yeah.
You really have to follow it all the way to the line, otherwise things like that will happen.
Yeah. It was kind of deceptively high. Looks like it might have been angling out, but some good topspin on that from number 9, Abel, the server. Here's McIntosh with the set, and good block by Bartlett. Jags still have it, though. McKean over to McIntyre on the set. Bartlett, big hit winding up, but Daigle on the block. And he'll record the point there. Great work by number 7, Alexander Daigle. I think there was a second guy in there, but as they say, no one remembers number 2. Service from Abel will go out of bounds. And here's Charlie Gregory now. Solid service from Gregory, but it does go out of bounds. Good call by the Jaguars. I don't know if I would have made that call.
That was really close, yeah. They're lucky.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Gave that point to the wrong team. It is 8 serving 6. McKean sending it. McIntosh up for the win, and Daigle getting the big hit in.
Just out of reach for Charlie.
That's tough because the blockers did get hands on it. It almost gave Charlie enough time to get there, but it's hard to tell, especially when that ball changes directions off the blocker, and you're asking a lot for your defense to get there. Bartlett, first pass right at the front of the net. McIntyre sends it over. Lajoie to Daigle, but that's well out of bounds. Good discipline by the Lakers letting that go. And here's Bartlett now. His team trailing by 2. Strong service. Adona gets that. Lajoie from the back row, and Daigle just redirects that slightly, but sending it right down. Nice angle by number 7.
That was a really great tip.
It's hard to tell the angles up here. I'm sure he got a lot of height on that jump as well. As here he comes with a jump service, but that one uncharacteristically light.
He's just laughing it off.
Yeah. Happens to the best of them from time to time. Although this set's a lot closer than the last one. Lakers may capitalize. Michael Breed is a strong server. He sends his first one over. Big hit from Lajoie, and that goes right out after the block. So I guess Daigle was right. They did get that one right back. And now it's number 12, Alec Wilson. Another veteran on this Samuel de Champlain squad. Solid service right to the middle of the court. Bartlett has it to Adona. And McIntyre looking back row and just out of bounds.
A lot of really, really close balls this game.
That's the thing. Like, a lot of these 50-50 balls, if some of them went the other way, Lakers would be right in this. They trail by 4 as is. Not out of it. As Lex Smith, nice kind of redirection from well out of bounds, but sends it over. Has the Jaguars scrambling. Is McKean winding up, big hit, but Daigle's there in the back row. Lavin, big hit by Lajoie. McIntyre front row. Lex Smith sending it. Wilson is there in the corner. Big hit winding up, and falls just in bounds. Gino Abel with the back row hit.
That's a really good spot to put the ball because there's no way that the boys can get there in time.
No, there's no one even close there. As Caldwell calling another timeout. It was pretty back and forth, but he's seeing the score start to slip away.
It's always really hard to try to get it back once you've lost your morale.
Yeah, momentum is huge in volleyball without a doubt. And
half of the game is mental.
Yeah, definitely. I never played volleyball, but I know it seems like all the Alberts here are pretty big volleyball fans, eh?
Yeah, something that we all like to play a lot.
Fair enough. And I know the junior girls season didn't end quite the way you guys wanted to, but how was the regional tournament this past weekend?
There were a lot of really, really good teams. We just couldn't play up against them because our team just wasn't really matched up against them well.
Yeah, that's fair, and especially if there are these stronger teams that you don't see all year, and all of a sudden it's unfamiliar area, unfamiliar opponents, and they can really catch you unawares.
We didn't really have very many league games. I think we only had maybe 2.
Oh, wow, okay.
We mostly just played tournaments.
And tournaments can be really kind of hit and miss in terms of the quality of opponents, and you're kind of all over the place playing AAA teams against single A teams and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right, here's Wilson out of the timeout. Bartlett, good pass over to McIntyre, and Smith, nice hustle to the front of the net, but couldn't quite save it. So it's the Jaguars scoring first out of the timeout. And Wilson hangs onto the ball for the visitors. Another good service. Bartlett, direct response. Lajoie is there. Smith at the front of the net. Nice work by Lex Smith.
Really good hit. Sent it right to the back, right by the line, too.
Yeah. He's had a few hits that have kind of gone just in, or just out of bounds, rather. He was due for one. That was a good play by Lex Smith. Here's Michael McKean. Big serve, but it's out of bounds.
Just a little too much on it again.
Yeah. And this will send Xavier Lavin, the primary setter, to the line. It's a good service. Kurt Cometa is there from the libero position. McIntyre sends it over on the second hit. There's big wind-up from Lajoie. Falls at the feet of Bartlett. I don't know if he had a time to react to that one. That came fast.
I don't think he would have. That went straight to his feet.
Yeah, that's a tough ball to play without a doubt. Here's Levin again, jump serve, as Kurt Cometa has that. And little battle at the front of the net. Nice recovery by Charlie Gregory, who lost the battle but kept it alive. Levin, and this time it's number 9, Gino Hebert, sending it over. Good play by number 9 in orange and blue. So give Levin another service. Lakers receiving these pretty well as, Cometa, tough break. Yeah.
Just not there in the right position to cover.
It was a good hustle, and with the dive almost made it. I think he got the side of his hand on it, but just couldn't get under the ball. Big service, and that's out of bounds as Levin gets the angle wrong on that one. Lakers are in double digits, but they trail by a significant amount. They'd love to get a little run out of Jacob McIntyre. He had about a 3 or 4 point run to start the set. Lakers could use a few more of those. Hebert looking for the corner. Cometa is there. McIntyre over to Gregory, who sends it in the corner, but Adona keeps that alive. Big windup from William Lajoie. And there's another kill for number 4.
Really powerful hit there. Hard to receive off of that block. It went straight off to the side. Yeah, and the thing about this Jaguars squad is they've got so many guys who can deliver those big hits. Lakers basically don't get a break. As Bartlett has to adjust, but does send it to the corner. Lajoie is there. Levin over to Daigle, who has a big hit of his own, and Gregory gets a hand on it, but going nowhere near his teammates. Really fast reaction time, just didn't have the right angle on it.
Yeah. And here's Lajoie. Catches Cometa in the chest, but he does send it over to Bartlett. McIntyre recovering well, and there's Gregory pushing it over the top of the net. Jags keep it alive. Daigle adjusting well to push it just past the block there by Bartlett.
That's a really tough ball, because if they tried to go for that one, they probably would have hit the net.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some good versatility from Daigle, being able to change it up there and, kind of keep the Lakers defense guessing. It's Daigle up to Levin, and Daigle again winding up. Go for the big hit this time. What a dive by Adona to keep that alive. Daigle kind of gets a bad angle on that, but catches the Lakers flat-footed in the back row. And Jaguars get a point there. I'm sure the Lakers would love that one back. Because even though they got the point, Coach Bouteau still had some words of advice for his team there. Not the way they drew it up. There's Hebert. Over to Levin, and Daigle catches the top of the net, but looks like, oh, there's a fourth hit. I guess the Lakers defense didn't make contact, so.
They must be really happy to finally get this ball back.
I think so, yeah. They've definitely had a rough go of it, as they were starting off pretty close for the first 7 or 8 points or so, and then the Jaguars just took off. Not out of it yet, though. Nice service by Lex Smith. Daigle has to readjust, and Lakers able to play this. Here's Bartlett looking for the back row. I don't know, off his back foot will play that. And Daigle will send it. Oh, hand slip there. That's 23 now for the Jaguars. And this gives number 9, Gino Hebert, the ball. Just needs 2 points to secure another set for his visiting Samuel de Champlain Jaguars. McIntyre sending it up, and third hit by Gregory goes over Hebert. Direct response as Gregory winding up, angles it down, but I don't think that crossed the net.
Just a little bit too low on his arm, I think.
Tough break because he had some good power behind it. He had a good vertical, but just a little shy of the net, and now it is set point for the Jaguars. Gregory to McIntyre, and Bartlett pushing it up into the back row. Levin. Daigle with the big wind-up, and that's good. He goes short side, but it's still in bounds. And Lakers surrender the second one, 11-25. As Jaguars certainly in the driver's seat for this game. Lakers would need 3 consecutive set victories against a very strong team. Undefeated in league play, actually, are the Jaguars.
This is also their 3rd day playing in a row for the Harvey Lakers.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I know. Well, they played FCA on Monday, but who did they play last night, or do you know?
Yesterday they went to Grand Manan.
Grand Manan. That's a trip, too. Wow, okay.
They didn't get back until really late, too.
Oh, and they lost in the 5th set. That is rough. Yeah, so certainly both, physically and mentally tired. So that's a tough one to have the undefeated top of the league squad facing up. We'll take a moment to shout out our sponsors. Big thanks to Bill Gammon, Black's Grocery and Café, Briggs and Little, David C.A. Williams Renovations, Dr. Dan Fletcher, Excel Manufacturing, Harvey High Helpers, Harvey Insurance, Hundredfold Acre Puppies, the Little Village Vacation Resort for Dogs, Paul Equipment, your local Devilon and Bobcat heavy equipment dealer, RSEI Consultants Ltd, Scott Pierce at Remax East Coast Elite Realty, and the Station House. Our sponsors help us to improve the viewing experience and get more students involved in these streams. We have multiple levels available and accept sponsorships from groups and individuals. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please check the video description for our contact information. And we should mention, if you've been on Facebook in the past couple weeks, you may have noticed a story going around. A big thanks to Damon Levine from Anglophone School District West, who came here all the way back in February to run a story on our Lakers stream team. And he's been sharing, he posted that, and it's been shared around social media. Big thanks to anyone who did share it. As a result of that story, we've had a few cool opportunities for our students with some different organizations reaching out with some opportunities for our members to go learn and check out some new equipment, some new ways of doing things. So big thanks to anyone who shared that around. We really appreciate it. Any publicity is good publicity, and just getting the word out about what we do here, we really do appreciate that. So big thanks to all the sponsors and anyone who shared that.
If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. There's a video and an article, and both are really, really good. Yeah,
they are well done. You can catch that on the Anglophone School District West webpage, as well as their X and Blue Sky profiles, or Twitter and Blue Sky. And also, I believe the Harvey High School Facebook page has shared it. Should shout out the folks down there who are making the game happen as well. Big thanks to Cadence McMillan and Kayla Harris down at the Don Fletcher Minor officiating table, as well as our officials for this evening, as well as most of the season, Derek Bradford and Casey DeMerchant.
And, of course, big thanks to Kevin Sheffers-Roy up here in the skybox, making it all happen from the console position.
So for what could be a decisive set, it looks like a lot of the regular suspects out there for Coach Bouteau's undefeated Jaguar squad. Up front, we've got McIntosh, Ouellette, and Lajoie. In the back row, it's Lavin, Daigle, and Wilson, with Adona lurking to swap in from the libero position. For the Lakers, it's the same 6 who started the second set. So we've got Gregory, Smith, and McIntyre up front, McKean, Breed, and Bartlett in the back row. And like his counterpart, Kurt Kometa in the yellow libero jersey, ready to swap in. Wearing number 0. I love to see that. You don't see number 0 too often, but
I haven't seen it before.
yeah, it's not common. One of the reasons I like the CFL is it's one of the few professional sports leagues that still has players wearing the 0. And it's Michael McKean back there to start. He wears number 10 for the Lakers. Big hit by McKean. And that's out of bounds as we'll reset the scores there and give the first point to the visitors. Here's William Lajoie. He started the service every set so far for Coach Bouteau and Mayette's squad, and for good reason. Daigle with a little misdirection, but that's a 4th hit. I guess Lex Smith didn't quite make contact. So we're back in 4th early.
Lucky for the Lakers, because for them to build momentum, they really need to get a head start on this.
Yeah, you can't let the Jaguars get out to a big start like they did in the first set. Here's McIntyre from the corner. Bartlett sending it over to Charlie Gregory, looking in the corner, but Adona has that in motion. McKean with the back set to McIntyre, and Bartlett looking back row. Adona sends it over to McIntosh. McKean, direct response. McKean again. Good recovery. Lex Smith with the set over to McIntyre. Sends it up high to the back row. Lajoie. And tough break there is Smith trying to send it over at the front of the net. Gets caught at the top there.
Unfortunate. That was a really difficult position for him to be in.
Yeah. Timing just a little bit off, but I think it was probably the right play. If he had made it happen, it would have been almost a sure point for the Lakers. Ouellette with a big serve. McKean has that. McIntyre and Gregory winding up for a big hit. Good block by Wilson, but that's, Laker went under the net, I believe.
When he hit the ground, he must have gone over the line.
Yeah, we saw both referee Bradford from the Crow's Nest and DeMerchant from the floor motioning underneath. Good catch by the refs. Bartlett, nice kind of set that went back at an angle, looking for the corner, but McKean had it, but Lakers got frozen on that 3rd hit. No one quite got there in time. And here's Ouellette again. Good service. Over to Gregory. McIntyre puts it up. McKean from the back row. Volleying it over, and uncharacteristic misplay there by the Jaguars. This ball kind of angles off awkwardly off the fingers.
McKean's had some really good pushes deep into the back of the court.
Yeah, especially on that volley, which is good. He can control it a little more and really finds that back row. Daigle, big hit winding up, and that's good. No Laker even close as some of the Jaguars giving him a standing ovation from the bench there.
Put it right in the perfect spot for none of the Lakers to be able to get there.
Yeah. Very strong play this evening from number 7. Direct response from McKean, looking for the corner. Good work by Adona, backpedaling to get there. Breed with the block and has the Jaguars scrambling. That'll be a point for the Lakers, and looks like my score was wrong. We're actually all tied up now. 4 serving 4. Gregory sending it up. Adona has that to Daigle, and McIntosh has to send it from the back row. See what the Lakers can bring up, and Breed finding the corner. That's a great snipe from Michael Breed.
That was. Put it right down, right in the back row where none of the players were.
Yeah, hit it really well, too. He kind of hit it. I thought it was going to go out of bounds, just the angle he hit it at, but he must have had a good top spin on it or something because it fell exactly when he needed it to. Service goes a little awry. I don't see a point on the board, as there might be something up with the scoreboard, or just checking in with the minor official. No, we're all good there. Good call by referee Bradford. Didn't let play go on until he saw that go up. Here's Daigle setting up. McIntyre pushes it over. Little misdirection, but the Jags are ready for it. As nice hit by Lejoie. Gregory almost kept it alive.
That was a really good reaction because that would be a really difficult ball to receive.
Yeah, he got one hand out almost casually, just really low, kept it up. It's too bad the rest of the Lakers weren't expecting it, I don't think. Oh, tough break for Kometa. Gets that on the angle and sends it back into his face. He seems okay. Yeah, it takes a lot to bring Kurt Kometa down. He's a very positive player. As I think we're just double checking the rotation here. And, looks like they may be out of rotation there. As we hear the bench from the Lakers applauding for that. Now we've got referee DeMerchant double checking things, and Daigle may have jumped the service line. I'm not sure how this went wrong. It looks like everyone's moving around. I have no idea who the guilty party is.
Sometimes it happens. You just get too caught up in the movement of the ball. And
I do notice, when you go back to receive a serve, everyone kind of jumps everywhere. It can be hard to remember your position, but let's see what the scoreboard implications are. Currently it's 5 serving 7, and I think we're just going to take a moment to reset that. And it looks like, both those points coming off the board. Jaguars down to 5. Lakers with 2 additional points for now. 7 serving 5. And it looks like that will stay as referee DeMerchant signals we're good, and referee Bradford whistles us in. And after all that, a bit of inadvertent freezing for Charlie Gregory.
It's difficult to focus when you have that kind of a break. That's confusing for everyone.
Yeah. Although I don't know how good this was, because it just gave Daigle another kick at the can at the service line. Although he does step over the line on that jump serve, so Lakers catch a break there. Now here's Bartlett. 2-point lead for the Lakers right now, although we're still early going. Here's Levin, up to Lajoie. Nice misdirection, but McKean keeps it alive. Good angle by McKean. Lajoie is there. Right to the front of the net. Adona has it, but, McIntyre touched the net.
Unfortunate. That was a really good hit, too.
Yeah, it's tough. But you can still see it moving, though. That's a good call there by the referees, and looks like might be a bit of confusion again in the rotation, although they seem to have figured it out. It's Alec Wilson going back to serve, rather. McIntyre sending up, and McKean looking back row. McIntosh is there. Levin and Lajoie winding up. Found a hole in the Lakers' defenses. Both Breed and McIntyre went up, but I did not hear any contact with the ball on that.
I didn't either. They've been really placing those tips well.
Yeah. Nice work by the Jaguars to tie things up here. As Breed will send it over. McIntosh is there. Levin with the set. Wallet with the big hit. Gets it in front of Michael Breed. He does make contact, but unfortunately a little too far away from the net. It falls on the Lakers' side.
Always really unfortunate whenever it falls right in front of you when you're trying to block.
And that's got to be tough, too, because you want to be close to the net, but not too close, because if you touch it, obviously, then you surrender the point, too. So, it takes a lot of finesse to get the timing and space right.
Blocking is one of the things that I find the most difficult, at least when I'm playing.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I did not play volleyball. I would not be very effective, I don't think, but it's certainly a skill I would find difficult. As Wilson with another service. This one goes high into the stands. Charlie might have been sending that to his brother. But there's no Lakers who can play that. And here's Wilson again, although that service is low. So Lakers get it back. Cometa rotates out as Lex Smith comes back in for the front row. And here's Michael Breed getting ready to serve. Nice service from Breed. There's an ace.
That was really beautiful.
Yeah, froze the defense. And you can see Levin and Adonis still going over. Whose responsibility was that?
Caused lots of confusion. It was really done well.
Yeah. So I don't think that point went up. It is 10 serving 11 now. And, oh, tough break. Follows it up out of bounds. As he will grab a breather and Kurt Cometa's back in to the back row. And here's Levin, good service. Gregory has that. Pass over to McKee. And Daigle has it for the Jaguars. Here's Levin. Big windup by Lajoie, but it's blocked. And McIntyre, huge block. And you can see the energy he gets on the court from that.
That was incredible. I haven't seen many blocks like that.
No, and not on the Lakers side, but he went up at just the right time. We'll see if the Lakers can build on that. Jags are scrambling as they send that to Bradford in the crow's nest, and now we're all tied up.
The Lakers are gaining energy, and you can tell their bench is starting to get louder, and so is the team on the court.
Yeah. And you can't underestimate that. The support from the bench, the support from the crowd really helps on the mental side. And we'll see if they can keep this one close. Already, they've got more points this set than in the other two sets, so we'll see if they can stick with it.
Kurt was just a little too far up to receive that one.
Here's big service from Lajoie. McIntyre. Over to Gregory. Here's Levin with the set. Daigle. Gently, but again, it's McIntyre. Having a great little sequence here defensively. With the block and the redirect there. And nice service from McIntyre. Lajoie has to dig to keep that alive. Here's McIntyre with the set, and Gregory looking back corner, but Adona's there. Levin setting up Daigle for the big cross-court hit, and he finds the corner.
Unfortunate. There was just not enough people that were farther back to even try to run for it.
Yeah, no one even close. I don't think they would have gotten there even if they had tried, but that's a good hit from Daigle to pull momentum back over to his side. You can hear the Jaguars bench really getting into it too. I think they could sense their boys needed a lift. McIntyre punching it over, but it falls out of bounds, so Jags starting to pull away again. Here's Willette. Good service. Cometa, direct response, it just sneaks over. McIntosh tries to catch Lakers flat-footed, but they're good. Gregory, big hit, and Willette sends that way up high.
That was just beautiful. There was a lot of good teamwork between the Lakers and just set Gregory up really nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, when the Lakers are in good position, they get their 3 hits, their 3 touches. They're a pretty dangerous team. They can hang with the best of them. Nice service from Smith. Comes in strong, and Daigle looked like he was winding up for a big hit, and a bit of misdirection. Good work by the Lakers to keep their heads up. Again, the misdirection, but Gregory there, but the defenders touched the net. Tough break.
Unfortunate. They were doing such a good job with really getting there.
Yeah. Gregory's shown some great reflexes in this game. Really good at changing direction on the fly. Service from the Jaguars. Catches the top of the net. Definitely the closest set we've had so far. Lakers really sticking with the Jaguars on this one. Here's Levin putting it up. Daigle, big hit, but it's blocked this time by Breed and Bartlett. Daigle looking again, and this time he goes short side. Good adjustment by Alexandre Daigle.
And he's rewarded with a service now. Good jump service, but Breed has that. Set up for McIntyre. Bartlett volleying short side. Lajoie sending it short side. And Lakers with a big gap in their defense. That's a few times Jaguars have gone there.
I've noticed that once they really start getting into the game, a lot of the boys move really far up and leave the back pretty open.
Yeah, which against this team that hits pretty strongly, I don't know if that's always going to do it. Yeah, I want to make sure you're covering that entire back row if possible. Is Bartlett lining up, big service, but it's out of bounds.
Just too much power behind the Lakers.
Yeah. Yeah, been a few of those for a few different Lakers so far this evening. It's Wilson. Back to serve. Good strong service. McKean has that to Gregory, and Michael Breed will send it. Here's Wilson from the back row. Levin, well, that big hit, but Breed and McKean, the Michaels teaming up for a big block, and now the hit is out of bounds. Lakers rewarded with that strong defensive play as Lex Smith rotates back into the lineup.
Breed has been doing really, really well with those blocks up at the front of the net.
Yeah. Yeah, between him and McIntyre, a strong defensive showing for the Lakers this set, without a doubt. There's McKean sending it over. McIntosh is there. Levin with the set. Lajoie winding up, but Lakers caught the net. I was wondering which one did, but I guess it was the Lakers, the guilty party. As you can hear, Jaguars bench giving them lots of energy there as this set is close. Good service from Levin. Gregory to McIntyre. Winding up for the big hit is Lex Smith, but Daigle keeps it alive. Lajoie, again big hit, but again out of bounds. And he was finding the corner earlier, just having a hard time this rotation.
That went right to the wall.
Yeah. And here's Michael McKean now. Nice service from McKean. Daigle to Adona. And sends it over. McIntosh. Oh, tough break for the Lakers, I think. McKean pulled up because you could tell on his face when he saw that fall in.
Yeah.
A little frustrated. Those are tough calls to make. But he'll shake it off and get ready for the next one. Lajoie, and there you go. Good heads-up play by McKean to keep that focus. As Gregory gets it past the defense, forces the Jaguars to dive there.
They just weren't ready to try to get it off of the net.
Yeah. Only a 3-point difference right now as we're approaching the end of this third set. Lakers, solid improvement here as Daigle from his back foot has to send it. McIntyre to Gregory, and Smith kept it alive. I don't know if that was in his head or what. Daigle pushes it, but Bartlett a good heads-up play, and yeah, I guess he's going to get caught for the fourth touch there. It might have been Lex Smith who had the first touch, so. Yeah.
That was really good hustle by the Lakers, though. They really got there and received it well, even with the balls that were really difficult to get to.
Yeah, tough to surrender the points on that one, as a lot of things you liked off of that sequence. But ultimately it is Jaguars ball as Ouellette has it here. Penultimate point. Ouellette to Levin. Daigle winding up. Looks for the sideline, but a good hustle by Gregory to keep it alive. And Wilson at the front of the net redirecting, and now we've got game point for these Jaguars. As Lakers did not make it easy with this final set. Still have a bit of life in them, but they need a big run here. Gregory, big hit. And they can't get there. That's how it starts. Lakers got to take it 1 point at a time here. As Michael Breed checks into the front row, it's Lex Smith from the back row, getting some encouragement from Coach Caldwell there.
Really just taking a breath and trying to slow down your brain whenever you're going up for a serve this important.
Yeah, that pressure's got to be pretty high. As a nice block from Breed, although
Oh, and goes directly out of bounds, I guess. So, tough break for the Lakers there, as they will officially lose this league matchup. 3-0, although a much better showing in that third set. I expect we will play the full 5, just so that everyone gets their money's worth here.
They came back and played hard, especially considering they've been doing so much playing.
Yeah.
And they still have a tournament coming up on Saturday, I think.
Oh, they do. Oh, yeah, and that's like an exhibition tournament. That's not regionals, eh? Because regionals, I think, is next weekend for them. Yeah. That's a lot of volleyball in a short amount of time for these guys. Oh, wow. Early in the morning in Fundy, according to our console guy.
I think it's Fundy.
Wow, yeah. That's actually, we can check that on the school athletics calendar. We'll try to pull that up for you.
They've been doing a really good job, though, with trying to come back. A lot of good moves between the players. They've been getting better at communication.
Yep.
There have been some amazing blocks.
Yeah, playing a lot better as a unit in that last set. As, yes, indeed, Kevin is right. Both the senior boys and the senior girls going to a Fundy tournament on the 3rd. I wonder if the schedule has been posted. We may be able to pull that up for you, but we'll see here. Yeah. Senior girls, senior boys. Fundy tournament. It's the Blue Wave tournament. And we'll see who is playing when. As it looks like the girls get to sleep in a little bit. Their first game isn't until 10 a.m. But the boys do play against this same Samuel de Champlain team right at 9 a.m. to start things off. So, yeah, that's an early morning.
Hopefully this game is a motivator for them at the tournament, though.
Yeah. I mean, they saw in that last set they could hang with these guys, and a couple of those 50-50 balls fall the other way. They could easily have won that one. So it's got to be encouraging for the Lakers, you would hope, as Coach Caldwell going over possibly some adjustments. It'll be interesting to see here on the what are now 2 exhibition sets if we see some personnel changes, or if he wants to keep his top players kind of fresh, as regionals are next weekend. It looks like there will be some personnel changes for Coach Bouteau's squad. We've got up front number 9, Gino Abel, number 8, Bemi Yusi back on the court. And it looks like we'll have a different libero, number 15 this time, Grady Gammon, as well as number 6, and that's the one jersey number we don't have. We had Lajoie as number 5. Number 6 was not on the, ISET or whatever that online tracker is. So it may have been a late addition to the team. Again, if you know the names in the chat, feel free to shout them out for us. We're looking for number 6 for Samuel de Champlain. And indeed, there are a few personnel changes for the Lakers. Coach Caldwell is going to roll through all of his roster. Caleb Brewer and Jordan Hill both checking into the game. In the back row for now, although we see Kurt Cometa getting ready to swap in. And it will be Levin with the first service. Grady Gammon is in for Wilson, I believe, in the back row. As Brewer digging for that one, but sends it into the stands. Charlie Gregory looking to pop that out with a chicken wing, but couldn't quite make contact.
Caleb sent it pretty much directly into Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie maybe just trying to avoid getting the ball to the face more than anything.
And I don't blame him.
Yeah.
That's never fun.
Second service catch at the top of the net, so we're all tied up now. Is McIntyre. Big jump service is trying to catch this this Jag squad.
Really amazing hustle from all of them. Just couldn't get it over. It was too far back into the corner.
Yeah, tough play, especially on that last hit. Grady Gammon made contact, had a good hit, but was basically at the very back of the gym. As McIntyre mistiming his jump there, he'll surrender the point.
He laughs it off, though. He's having fun out there.
Yeah, and that's the important thing.
Here's number 6 for the Jaguars. Unfortunately, we don't have his name, but a nice service there. Front of the net, good play by Hebert, and that'll pay off. As Jags get the point. And here's the service again. It's hard to hear what the stands are saying. Someone might have called him Greg. I don't know. Not sure if that's accurate or not.
You never know who they're talking to.
That's true,
well.
yeah. There's 12 players out there. Maybe they're cheering on the referee. Who knows? But either way, Lakers will take the point there. And here's Jackson Short up to serve. Good service from Short. Oh, and catches the Jaguars flat-footed.
He has a really good, really consistent serve, especially considering he's new to this team.
Yeah. Oh, big thanks to the chat again. I guess again there was another mislabeling, as there's another ace from Jackson Short. That's a couple of them in a row now. I guess the online roster was wrong. Number 6 is Jamie Bemi-Yusi. So number 8 was mislabeled. I guess we're not sure who number 8 is. That's our mistake. Another point for the Lakers here as they're going ahead early on this exhibition set, as Daigle with a nice dig attempt from the back row just couldn't get enough height under that one. As that's sent up over by Short. Big windup from number 8. Nice block by Gregory though. So Lakers will take the point. And this might be their biggest lead of the evening. 8 serving 3. Here's Short again. Daigle, direct response, but Bartlett is there. Good work by Grady Gammon, keeping it alive, but froze his teammates at the front of the net. Bit of confusion there.
Must have been intimidated by the Lakers that were right up at the net in front of them.
They were ready to go for sure. As big thanks to our roster consultants, I guess, Melissa Gammon in the chat, as we have number 8's name. That is Martin Bork, or Martin Bork. So big thanks to him big thanks to Melissa rather for the name, and good play by Bork at the front of the net. Here's Hebert with the service. Up and over. Bartlett will send it, and nice dig by Hebert to try to keep it alive, but unfortunately it will not go. So Lakers up 10-4 now. As Gregory back to serve. Good service by Gregory. Gammon is there. Looking for Levin at the front of the net, but in an awkward spot. So Lakers will get the point. Pulling ahead early here. It's Gregory, veteran presence on this squad. Nice work by Bemi-Yusi to keep that alive. Bartlett sends it over, but good adjustment by Daigle, the front of the net. Caleb Brewer with the kill from the front of the net, sending it over. Nice work by Brewer, grade 12 player, but in his first year of volleyball, and indeed any varsity sport. As Daigle winding up with a big hit, but that will go out of bounds. Lakers really starting to run away with this, and we do see Coach Buteau up on the sidelines, maybe calling a timeout at some point. We'll see, as Levin has that. And oh, nice misdirection by Daigle, but Bartlett is there. Good adjustment to keep it alive.
Really good response from Charlie Gregory as well.
Yeah, Bork sends it over. And here's Jordan Hill with a nice punch. Grady Gammon with the response, but caught at the top of the net. And yes, we do have the timeout called now by Coach Buteau. A lot of energy from the Lakers bench off this big lead. Up 10 points.
They must be really excited about this lead because they've been wanting it this whole game.
Yeah, and they've been working hard for it, just steadily improving. And those bench players, too, who stayed focused, who gave the energy, and to see some of their efforts being rewarded as well. You do love to see it. But these Jaguars play with a lot of pride. You know for sure that Coach Buteau is not pleased with the scoreboard right now. We'll see what adjustments they make coming out of this.
even though they've won the game, you never want to give up just because it's exhibition rounds.
Exactly. Especially if the next team you play will be this same team in a tournament.
It's really good practice.
You get to learn their strategies. Yeah.
It's always really interesting to play teams back-to-back, or at least at some point in the next tournament after you've had a home game. We had a game against Sam DeSham, and then we played them in a tournament, and we used that as motivation to try to get it back, and it worked.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, nice thing about volleyball, like anyone can beat anyone on the right day, the right circumstances, and you come in with some good focus, catch the opponent sleeping, right? If they think, oh, we beat this team easily in our last game, we'll be fine, but you can catch teams unawares that way. As here's Charlie Gregory, nice service, but Gammon has the receive, and Levin gets it close to the front of the net, but the Jaguars can't quite finish it.
Really good attempt considering how close that was to the net, and he didn't touch it, so that's really impressive. It just couldn't get to the right spot.
Hard to play. As nice change up by Daigle, going for the volley close to the front of the net this time, catches the Lakers unaware, and this will be a point for the Jags. Martin Bourque back to serve. Good service by Bourque, but it goes just out of bounds. Good discipline by the Lakers there, letting it go. I thought that was falling in.
I did too. They're lucky that was out. That would have been an unfortunate point against them.
Yeah. And those can be real frustrating ones when you know you could have had it. Bemiusi keeping it alive. Here's Levin over to Daigle, but Gregory's there one-handed. Jackson short with the pass, but I think he's getting called on the double touch there. Yep.
Good attempt.
Yeah, and that's something that just comes with time, right? And a lot of these Laker boys haven't had quite as many years of experience as this Jaguar squad.
The mistakes that they're having, for the most part, are just things that you have to work on with time. You get better at it the more you work it.
Yeah, for a relatively young team, Lakers with a good showing. As Jags surrender the point on the misfired serve there. There's Caleb Brewer, that'll go wide right.
Right out almost to the coach for the Sam DeSham.
Yeah. Caleb a little distracted. His favorite hockey team last night was unfortunately eliminated from the playoffs. Caleb, a huge New Jersey Devils fan.
Are you sure that's his favorite team?
Yeah, it's kind of annoying actually. He talks about them all the time, but we'll give him some grace as he's going through a tough period.
I'm sure. Must be getting ready to go to the funeral for the New Jersey Devils.
I'm sure he is, yeah. As McIntyre sends that up, but no Lakers ready for the third hit, and there's one of those miscommunications we saw early in the set kind of coming back to haunt the Lakers as they're letting the Jaguars claw back into this. Wilson with a good service. Gregory is there. McIntyre and Bartlett will send that. Daigle in the back row has it. Levin putting it up. Bemiusi with a good hit and puts it right in the middle of the defense. That's some good placement.
That was a really good attempt to dive, too. The form was really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, Bartlett almost got there, just couldn't get under the ball. And here's Wilson again. He's having a nice run from the service line as Jackson Short sends it over. Daigle from the back row is there. Levin. Bemiusi winding up. A lot of contact at the net there. But I believe indeed it is the Lakers who made the most contact or touched it first. As that'll be a point, another point for the Jags. I don't even think the Jaguars understood there as Levin, I think, was expecting to give the ball to the other players. Oh, and Wilson's already gone off the court. I don't think he realized it's still his service. Yeah, we got some confusion here as Gammon had already checked in as they thought that was a point for the Lakers. And now they got to figure out the service order again, the rotation. But here's Wilson again. Sends it up and over. Gregory has that. McIntyre at the front of that. And Bartlett looking back row.
Really good and really fast response to that.
And Jags with yet another point. They were down by 11 at one point. They've cut the deficit to just 5.
And here's Alec Wilson. That service catches the front of the net, so Lakers happy to see the end of him at the service line, and now Gammon can come in. And here's Jordan Hill. Jump serve from Hill. It's got some power, but it will fall out of bounds. Just had the angle wrong on that. Tough break for Hill.
Hit it a little too much up on that one.
Yeah. The jump serve, especially the timing, is a little hard to master.
It is. Even some of the best players that I've seen have had difficulties with trying to get their jump serves down.
Yeah. Is there a bit more power behind it? Is that kind of the motivation to do a jump serve?
I think what you really want from a jump serve is to get the height from it so you can hit it down. At least that's my understanding
get that angle.
of it.
That makes sense, yeah. Oh, nice heads-up play at the front of the net by Jackson. Short. Bemiusi with a dig to keep it alive, but no teammates could get there. Good scrambles on both sides.
Really good fast reflexes from short. Being able to get it over like that.
As this service from McIntyre misfires. And it will be Jamie Enrique Bemiusi is the full name online, wearing number 6 and not number 8 for the Jaguars. It's McIntyre and Bartlett sending it over. Gammon has to hustle to make it. He does make contact, but can't get enough air underneath it. So Lakers will take the point.
Good placement there. He knew that the Jaguars weren't going to be able to get there in time.
Yeah, both teams have been having success in this set on kind of the shorter plays, and instead of going for the big quick power hits all the way to the back row, trying to catch people unaware, they're playing pretty far back because of those first 3 sets. And so this is opening up some gaps in the defense. Oh, good hustle by the Jags to make contact on that second hit, but unfortunately no one there for the third.
Pretty sure that they ran into each other and possibly the crowd.
Oh, they might have, yeah. Yeah, they're kind of in our blind spot, but yeah, they might have. They both seem okay, as Bork and Levin both smiling and back on the court, no problem. It's 23-15 now. Lakers rather in the driver's seat, but we know this Jaguar team is capable of some runs from the service line. Bartlett winding up for the big hit. And Hebert sends that into the ceiling. For the first time tonight, it is set point for the home side, as veteran Charlie Gregory. And if you do have set point looking to close out an opponent, Gregory's probably one of the guys you want at the service line. Oh, there's that commentator's curse. That goes out of bounds, yep.
Unfortunate. He is a really good player to have on the court right now, though.
Certainly. Yep, great in the back row on that defense, as that service is out of bounds, and Lakers will take the first set of the evening. Just an exhibition set, but still, yeah, they're happy with that result. You never want to go down 0-5 in your own barn, so happy to get at least one, and now I believe we will be playing a 15-point set to end things off.
They must be really happy considering they had this much of a lead, and this team is a really good team to go up against.
Yep, and while they were playing some of their bench, they still had Daigle out there, strong hitter, Levin, their number 1 setter. Alec Wilson was still serving. That was still a pretty strong lineup overall. So Lakers happy to get that one, as we'll just take a moment to shout out our sponsors. Big thanks to Bill Gammon, Black's Grocery and Café, Briggs and Little, David C.A. Williams Renovations, Dr. Dan Fletcher, Excel Manufacturing, Harvey High Helpers, Harvey Insurance, Hundredfold Acre Puppies, the Little Village Vacation Resort for Dogs, Paul Equipment, your local Devilon and Bobcat Heavy Equipment dealer, RSEI Consultants Ltd, Scott Pierce at Remax East Coast Elite Realty, and the Station House. Our sponsors help us to improve the viewing experience and get more students involved in these streams. We have multiple levels available and accept sponsors from groups and individuals. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please check the video description for our contact information. And big thanks again to the minor officials, Cadence McMillan is working the in-house scoreboard, and Kayla Harris is checking all the right boxes on that iPad, not iPod, down there at the Don Fletcher minor officiating booth. Yeah, we don't really have an in-house DJ at these games. Maybe that is a position that should be opened up, but yeah. In the past, we were able to do some pregame music, but no, she's just checking off who's getting the points, I believe.
Haven't heard iPod in quite a while.
Yeah, that just slipped out. I'm of an age where iPod would have been a pretty common high school gadget to have in your pocket. As referee DeMerchant just going over the lineups for the Lakers, and now checking the Jaguars as referee Bradford looking on from the crow's nest. Big thanks to both of them, as well as Serena Bradford. It really has been the three of them refereeing all season long, and we thank them for their time here.
It takes a lot to ref that many games.
It does, yeah. Yeah, seeing as we have 8 volleyball teams between high and middle school here this season, that's a lot of time spent in this gym. Service from the Lakers out of bounds, and it's number 13, Marc-André Lagacé, with his first service, and that one falls just inbounds. And you can see the bench loves that.
A lot of noise from the bench, but also the people in the crowd.
Yeah. Yep, Sam Desham's traveled pretty well tonight, as Gregory makes contact with that, and big net front hit from Hebert. Lakers put that too high. Sam Desham off to a 3-point start in this short set.
They're still out there smiling, though, having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, that's the important bit out there. Gregory, Bartlett, Hill, Brewer, McKean, and Cometa for now. I think Breed is going to be the 7th player. Nice save by Jordan Hill. Good direct response there as Gammon sets up Will LaJoie. And here's Gregory with a nice hit. Puts that in front of the defender, and Lakers are on the board. Always nice to earn your first point, too, as opposed to a faulty serve or something. But Lakers definitely deserve that one on that kill from Charlie Gregory. There's Michael McKean. Big jump serve looking cross court, but unfortunately has the angle a little low.
Having played quite a few co-ed games with him, whenever he does a jump serve, it's always something interesting.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. And it looks like he may be the setter right now with McIntyre getting a breather. As LaJoie keeps it alive. Bork with the big hit, looking for the corner, and Hill makes contact but can't direct it to a teammate.
Nice fast reflexes, just didn't get both of his arms there and didn't get the right position on it.
Yeah, tough break, but it will come with time as a good reception by Hill in the back corner. Here's McKean looking for Gregory, who gets us a nice campfire ball. That falls right in the middle of all those orange and blue jerseys.
Must be really happy with those plays.
Yeah, and indeed it is Michael Breed who checks in for libero Kirk Cometa. On the Jaguar side, it's Grady Gammon checking in as the libero for the visitors. Here's Martin Bork. Good service. Hill direct response, but Gregory keeps it alive. William LaJoie at the front of the net directed that down, and his hit out of bounds. So Lakers keeping it relatively close, but in these short sets, a run can really put you behind. As here's Charlie Gregory, solid service. Nice work by Lagacé keeping that alive. LaJoie winding up for the big hit, and that's good.
You can tell that team's all really happy about that hit.
Yeah.
Went straight down, had a really good position and angle on it.
Yeah, they get a lot of energy off those big hits for sure. I think we're going to get a substitution here. Jordan Hill will check out, and McIntyre will check in. And while McIntyre's not in the libero jersey, Caldwell might be playing McIntyre, or Jordan Hill rather, is kind of a second libero, putting Hill in the back row and McIntyre in the front row. Maybe just rotating through a lot of guys here on senior night. As Jackson Short also checking in. Michael Breed will grab a breather. Seniors for the Lakers are
Charlie Gregory, Caleb Brewer, Kurt Kometa, and Carter Bartlett is also a senior. Even though he does not attend Harvey High, he is in grade 12.
Ball went straight out into the hallway there.
Yeah. Big hit by Bartlett, but that goes out of bounds. So Jaguars closing in on double digits already. As number 14, Noah Willett, goes back to serve. He's got a big service. We'll see how the Lakers can handle it. Comes a little short, though, as McIntyre gets it over to Breed. And McIntyre looking cross-court. Lagacé on the pass. Bork keeps it alive, and Levin will send it. Winding up at the front of the net is Hebel, but that'll make contact, so Lakers get the point.
McKean did a really good job of backing off the net when he was going up to block.
Yeah, interesting to see McKean in the setter role now. It's not something we see him play a lot, but showing he's got some versatility in his game. As here's Jackson Short. He's had a few good serves tonight, as Lagacé winding up for the big hit, and that falls right in bounds. Great placement by number 13, Marc-André Lagacé. And here's Xavier Levin. Good service. Kurt Kometa is there. McKean sending it over to Caleb Brewer, who looks for the back row. Lajoie to Levin, and Lagacé again with a big hit, this time going short side. Jacob McIntyre looking for the short payoff, as Hebel's hit will catch the top of the net. Good work. I believe that was Caleb Brewer who was up there providing some defense. And jump service from McKean. As again, yep. I'm not sure what that motion was. I saw referee DeMerchant kind of going in a circle with her hand. You see her talk to McKean there too.
I'm
maybe
not sure either.
Wait to hear. Oh, maybe out of rotation. As Lagacé, nice service. Kometa, direct response, and McKean sends it under.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's tough break. That's hard to do, to play the ball when it gets that close to the net, but McKean just had the wrong angle on that. Second service from Lagacé sneaks over. McKean with the sneaky play. And this time Hebel will get the point from the front of the net. He's been looking for one of those for a little while now. Finally gets the payoff. And now the Jags just 2 points away from their fourth set victory. Bartlett, direct response. Gammon there, directing towards a teammate, but kind of catches an awkward angle. Oh, so that's a Laker point.
Just weren't prepared to receive that.
And this time it is Michael McKean's turn to serve. Still trying that jump serve and can't find the red line. Tough break for McKean, and this will put set point in the hands of the Jaguars.
At least he got it over. Majority of his jump serves go straight to the net.
That is true. That is true. There's an improvement there. As nice play at the... Oh, nope. Touched the net for Noah Willett. And what I thought would be a victory is actually going to be a Laker point. So 8 serving 14. This is set point for the Jaguars. They need Caleb Brewer to go on a bit of a run. And he has the jump serve, but unfortunately can't quite get the angle. And that will do it. Jaguars take the final set 15-8. And that will put a cap on senior night, on the court at least, for the Lakers.
I'm glad at least it looks like the boys were having fun out there.
Yeah, for sure. This is a team that really enjoys playing together. As we mentioned, not the most experienced team, but they've really come together over the past little while. And the McAdam boys, too, have integrated pretty well.
Especially considering they joined in a bit late.
Yeah, they weren't here right on day one. That's true. Yeah, there were a few roster changes that needed to be made, but once the final roster kind of got set, the boys really dug in well. As we'll see them shake hands. Not sure if we've got a bit of a senior night ceremony coming up. As big thanks to Coach Isaiah Caldwell, as well as head coach Michelle Poirier, who couldn't be here tonight, but big thanks to all the work he's done getting the boys ready. And thanks as well to coaches Jean Bouteau, who is here, and Hazel Mayette, who could not join us tonight, but big thanks to both of them for getting their Samuel de Champlain boys ready as well. Thanks one last time to Cadence McMillan and Kayla Fraser back there at the minor officiating table, as well as our referees, Derek Bradford and Casey DeMerchant. Kevin Sheffers-Roy has done a great job here at the console position, and here's the senior night. And congratulations to those 4 seniors for a great volleyball career. Thanks so much for tuning in. As we mentioned, we've got some middle school games coming at you next week, as the JV girls, the boys, and the triple ball girls will all be finishing their seasons here in the David McMullen Gymnasium. You'll want to tune in for that. We'll cut to our ad now, and we'll catch you next week.
Harvey takes the lead with 9 seconds left. This game isn't over just yet. Luke with the rebound. 6 seconds left. Now 5, 4, 3. He goes in. Ryan down.
Dad, I think it's time I get my own house.
Harvey takes the lead with 9 seconds left. This game isn't over just yet. Luke with the rebound. 6 seconds left. Now 5, 4, 3. He goes in. Ryan down.